Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 87. This week's topic is talks about how we talk of our past selves. The specific questions are: how do you refer to your past self pre-transition? Do you disclose? Do you avoid it? Do you change details to match your current presentation? Nice topic. This is Stephie, and boy, you know, my response to this would have changed a lot over my transition period. So the answers that I'm giving you now would be substantially different than the answers that I would have given you 3 months ago or 6 months ago. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. How do I refer to my pre-transition self? Usually it's my old, outmoded self. And my current self is my new and improved self. There's an old George Carlin skit for you folks that remember George Carlin. Very funny comedian who talks about new and improved. Well, if it's new, how can it be improved? And if it's new and improved, does that mean there's something wrong with the old one? So in my case, all of those are true. I mean, yes, of course there was something wrong with the old one. So the new and improved model is way better from my perspective. I also use the term, I used to look a bit different. Well, maybe more than a bit different, maybe a lot different. I usually use that in the context of talking to folks who I haven't seen for a long period of time. And they're used to my old self, but have never seen my new self. I also use the term when I was a guy, which nowadays confuses a lot more people than it used to. But originally it used to clarify things. You're not a guy anymore? No, I'm not. So that's changed a lot during the transition. Do I disclose? If I would needlessly offend somebody by doing so, no, I don't. I just simply ignore it, don't say anything about it. And a lot of people do that, and that's quite all right, because a lot of people just simply want to be seen as their current gender. They don't care to announce the fact that they used to be something different. Me, I feel that part of my mission is also to help us improve our lot. And the only way that I can do that is to identify that I used to be something different than I am. So yes, I do disclose. And I disclose, sometimes I simply go out of my way to disclose. But if I would needlessly offend someone, no, I don't. For a while there during my transition, I wouldn't, simply to see if they could tell. And that was my own confirmation as to how my transformation was coming along and whether or not I was able to pass. Do I avoid it? No, not at all. No, not in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes I force it. Here's an interesting story. Since I changed my name, I figured I'd better go and re-register for the upcoming elections and things like that. So what I did was in the process of doing that was to seek out some of the folks that are standing in front of the various stores and stuff like that and say, have you re-registered? Here's the bigots of the world trying to get you to change your vote. we disagree with everything in the world, and if you're not exactly up to us, obviously you're some kind of communist kind of deal. So I specifically sought out one of those to use for my re-registration. You know, they got a lot less enthusiastic about me re-registering when they realized that the reason I'm doing this is because I used to be someone else. And, you know, when I first said name change, he says, oh, yeah, not a problem. But when I said from my old male name to my new and improved female name, all of a sudden their enthusiasm kind of evaporated, which I found amusing. Do I change details to match my current presentation? Generally, no, I don't. I used to gloss over details when it made me uncomfortable early on in transition, as I think, you know, early on in transition, we're all pretty much scared about what we're doing. And for me, for my state of transformation, that's pretty much all gone. So, no, I don't change any details to match my current presentation. If somebody wants to know that I used to look way different, that's fine. I don't look that way no more, and that's the way it is. So in conclusion, you know, I'd just like to mention that I think there's stages that we go through, okay, in our transition. Early on, we're scared. We're either hiding or we're purposely gender neutral, or we're unsure of ourselves, unsure of what this transition is going to do to us, and therefore kind of hedging our bets. And, you know, I think as our transition progresses more and more, we understand that, yeah, it is going to come through and it's going to work. And we are going to be the gender that we know we are. And that's a big change. And that causes us to think a little bit differently about us and where we are and where we're going and where we're headed. And like I say, for me, and this is unique to me, and it doesn't necessarily apply to anyone else. I specifically go out of my way to make people realize that I used to be something else, and what I'm doing is not wrong, and what I'm doing is correct, and what I'm doing is not against the Bible, and it is not against God, and not against anyone else. What it is against the bigots of the world. Sorry. So, now I'll step back down off my soapbox, but that's unique to me. One other item before I sign off for this week. This is probably my last one of these things that you'll see for a couple of weeks. I will be out of town. I will be out of country. Next week at this time, I will be in Thailand, and I will have gone through my surgery at this time next week. See, I'm recording this on Sunday, and I will upload it, of course, on Thursday, but Saturday, I'm getting on the airplane for a 17-hour and 40-minute flight. So that's going to be interesting. And that's I will come out of there with an SRS for down the bottom. And while I'm at it, I'm getting the top pumped up a little bit. What the heck? So that's what's happening. You can see for the surgery, I had to do this. I had to shorten my nails. Darn it! I like them long. But they said you got to get rid of them. Rats. So I did that. The other thing that I had to do, and this relates to us gender blenders, I'm off hormones, and that's nasty. That's nasty. I don't want to be off hormones, but I've been off hormones now for almost a week, and I have been off hormones for a total of 2 weeks by the time I get there. That's tough. Interestingly enough, I had my first hot flashes, so I'm going through menopause. So I'm one of the few people that have both PMS and menopause, and teenage to boot. So that's what's happening to me. But we'll see you in a few weeks. Until then, this is Stephie saying bye-bye, everyone.